Welcome everybody. It is me, TT, your host from Intuitive Minds Already Know. How is everybody doing? I've been MIA. Go ahead, ask. I'll tell you. I'm gonna just wait a little bit here until somebody gets on here. Hello, Jody Lynn. Tonight's topic is going to be about forced self-love. Please comment on here if you have ever experienced forced self-love. And what you think. Comment on here what self-love means to you. And then I'll tell you my experience with forced love, the topic of forced love. How's everybody doing? We had a full moon. We still are experiencing a little bit left of what is out there of a full moon in Taurus. November feels like a weird month because we're kind of in between like holidays and seasons, like it's a harvest time. So a lot of people feel kind of rushed. Hello, Brian. A lot of people feel like rushed to get stuff done, to get ready, get their gardens done, get the lawn taken care of, finish up all the outside projects. And I feel inspired during this time because I've been so busy with outside stuff in the summertime that I'm really ready for just like some hunker down time. So comment on here how you guys feel about going into this season, this next season. I know a lot of people put their tree up November 1st. Those are hardcore Christmas committed devotion. They're devoted. They are devoted. I will tell you. I can't even think about putting my Christmas tree up yet. Hello, Carrie. All right, so tonight's topic, I've been MIA for a while, and I want to be truthful and I want to be honest. And you guys know from watching me time and time again that I am real and that I am authentic and I am raw. And so some of you that know me and know my situation, my husband and I were separated. And if you don't know, there's your news flash. My husband and I were separated. We separated in May. And we went through all the things. We went through all the things. And it, we even filed for divorce, and we went through depression, and we went through loneliness and seclusion and all the stuff. So if anybody has ever been separated or gone through a divorce, please comment on here and ask me questions like, hey, did you experience this? Did you experience that? Because it felt like a death. It felt like part of me was dying, but it also felt like my husband had like passed away just because of the way that things were feeling. And so what happened during those 5 months, and I'm here to say that we are not getting divorced, and separation, the separation that we needed to take, that we both agreed was very necessary, abruptly, it worked. It's working, I should say. Because we are not getting divorced, and we are seeing each other again, and we are trying to put the pieces back together a different way, to rebuild our foundation differently than the old way, and to get to know each other all over again. And it's weird because, like, you think you know someone for 24 years, and then you go through like this separation of being by yourself. Like, I have not been by myself since I was pregnant with my first son, and he's 30. So even when Travis and I like started dating, we had a child, because I had a child. I had Cody. So, and he had never lived alone because he was in the military. Then he had roommates, and then he met me. So this was new to both of us, this living alone type thing, and, you know, trying to find apartments to rent, and trying to find enough furniture for the both of us, and who gets what, and, you know, and so long story short, I was forced, this whole situation, this whole separation forced me to really love myself, because there was nobody else. Like, there was a point where I wanted to get divorced. Like, I was like, yep, this is what I want. I want to get divorced. And then there was a part where, like, Travis was like, nope, I want to get divorced. Like, so we kind of like switched off and on. Like, I don't want to, I want to, he wanted to. And so it was fucked up, you guys. It was a mind fuckery, and all on purpose. Like, I don't regret any of it, honestly. You know, and we're not like totally out of the woods yet, but I feel that we've got a good grounding, a good foundation to keep the momentum going. But what it forced me to do is it forced me to, because we were alone, I was alone, we were doing no contact, and then, you know, and so what it forced me to do is to really go deep inside myself, and look at who I was, who I am, all my insecurities, all my strengths, all my flaws, my past, my present, my future. Like, it was probably, I would say, you know, the pain, like, giving birth hurts. But, and I had C-section, so I really didn't feel a lot with my births, but the physical, just ongoing numbing sadness of going through all of it, of being lonely. And I had really, really bad anxiety. I had to take off work a couple times just because the anxiety was just so excruciating. Like, I couldn't even, I don't know how I would have gotten through those days if I didn't stay home. I just got, like, my attention span was just like gone. And so having to go through that, and to get right down to the nitty gritty of, like, okay, I'm fucking alone. I have to pay for everything, pretty much. I have to, you know, take care of everything. I was here by myself, so I had to learn how to mow the lawn. I had to learn how to, you know, remember to get gas, and to remember to mow and check the weather to make sure I was mowing on the proper days, and just keep an eye on the house and keep myself busy. And it was hard in the beginning, because I really I felt like I was doing stuff wrong. I felt like I was, you know, doing things for me, and I thought like I should be sadder, you know, but that didn't kick in until like after the fact, until I was like kind of, I deep dived into journaling and reading every night and not watching TV. I hardly, like, I told Travis the other day, I'm like, I have not watched the news. I've not turned the TV on in the morning or after work like you used to do. And honestly, it took me a good probably 3-4 months to actually watch a movie by myself, because my therapist was like, hey, why don't you just take a little bit and like just pick out a movie and just try it out, and I did. It was fine. And I had Lola here. Thank God I had Lola. I don't know if I would have been able to get through the panic attacks and the loneliness if I didn't have her as my support system, And I had some close friends that would check on me every day, and one of them was actually going through a breakup at the same time. So we really cared for and fed off of each other. It was pretty cool. We actually got really close because we were each going through, like a different types of breakup. Hers was like 2 years. Mine was 24 years, and she's 20 and I'm 50. So it was interesting to hear her perspective on her side, being, so much younger and not being in a relationship as long as I have. And her, I gave her perspective because I had history, and I had, I was older. So it was really wonderful. So I'm going to pull cards, and I'm going to strictly use my intuition. I don't know if I'm going to read from the book at all for these, but what this situation did for me was it basically kind of handed all my shit to me, and like all at once. And it was just like, here you go, Tanya, here's what is going to happen. And this is what you guys are going to feel. Like, this is going to be painful. This is going to be, you're going to like look at things so much differently. You are going to feel things so much differently. And basically I had to, do everything for myself. It was me, because I thought at that point, during the 5 months, that it was just me. Like, this is going to be me. This is going to be my life. And I have to be, if we get divorced, and when we get divorced, I am going to be single for a while. Hello, Becky. And I knew that I probably wouldn't want to see anybody for at least a year, because they say, like, once you get divorced, like, give yourself a year. So I knew that this was going to be, probably, if we ended up getting divorced, that this was going to be my new this was going to be my new normal. Waking up alone, leaving the house in the morning without someone being there to say goodbye, and not having that text from him during the day, and then coming home at night. So there was so many things that I realized, like, how I missed those little things. I missed I missed a lot. I missed having the coffee in the morning, and I just missed having supper, even just cooking and just someone to talk to. At the end, before we kind of got back together, I was starting to enjoy my freedom and my alone time. I think it was because I had gotten myself into a new routine that I was starting to embrace it and just go, okay, this is reality. I'm not going to be in the fantasy world again. I'm not going to think that it's going to be this or that it's this. I'm not going to just fantasize. This is what it is, and I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to make the very best of every single day, because this is my life. This is my life right now. And I think by just letting completely go and surrender to the now. And if you've been watching me, you have heard me say that my New Year's resolution this year was to practice being in the moment more. And I finally realized, you guys, what being in the moment actually means. And it has helped me overcome so much insecurity of being alone. I didn't realize how codependent I was until this all happened. And I couldn't be codependent anymore. I had to basically rely and be dependent upon myself for everything. And I think it had to happen for a reason. And I think because I had Cody so young, I mean, I basically graduated from high school. I was like 17. And then I had Cody when I was 19. So like I had maybe a year and a half of like being alone, when most people were like getting ready to go to college or still living with their parents or getting their first apartment, you know? And so not having that time in my life to actually let myself figure out who I was and who I wanted to be, this was a great opportunity for both of us, because we had never really been alone. And I think actually what we did was probably the best thing that we could. Hello, Liz. I think this separation, you know, was probably the best thing that we could have ever done for our relationship. I really don't know if we would have not, you know, intentionally like separated and just got divorced, we probably would be divorced. Honestly, I do think that if we didn't take this separation seriously, the way that separation is designed to do, a lot of people are like, well, you know, if you separate, that's it. You might as well just end up divorced. And we're like, no, like separation is a principle and a practice used to give each other the space and the time out to reflect, to learn, to heal, and to do all those things. And neither one of us took advantage of it. I wasn't going out seeing other people. I don't think he was going out seeing other people. We weren't going out to the bars. I wasn't doing radical, like shifty stuff. Like I was just staying home and making crafts basically, and going for walks with my dog. And so, you know, I think we both took advantage of the time the healthiest way that we could possibly do, you know. Would I do it a little bit different? Yeah, now that I know what it looks like and what it freaking feels like. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know, here we are now, and we both agree that we want to focus on that. So I want to pull cards, and I want to talk about like forced self-love. So when the universe puts you in situations where you have to boldly look at yourself and go, this is my life. This is my effing life. And I'm in control of it. I am only control over what this person does, what this person feels, what this person thinks. And that's it. I can't control what he thinks or what he's feeling or what he wants or what he doesn't want. And that was so hard for me because I wanted to know exactly. I wanted to know, what is he thinking? What is he feeling? And by being an empath, when you're with someone, whether you live with this person or not, whether it's a friend, you can feel how someone is feeling. And because Travis is an empath as well, you know, that I didn't have that ricochet. So what I wanted to feel, I'd put it out there, but then it like wasn't bouncing back. And that was lonely to not have that ricochet. I did realize that wasn't at all healthy at times, because sometimes we were both projecting our insecurities and our unhappiness. We were just projecting and not really expressing them the way that we should have. So when my energy was thrown out at him, and I like kind of, if I kind of describe it like sonar, like a bat. So empaths by default, they don't necessarily, they can do it like on command, you can do it like intuitively, but sometimes empaths, when they throw out their sonar, their intuitive sonar like a bat, and if they're trying to get that feedback from a certain person that they've been used to living with before, and it doesn't come back, that was painful. It's hard to explain, but I had to basically just put that back into me. I had to really open my heart up and just let that ricochet. I had to put it out there, but then I had to open my heart up and let it ricochet back to me. So that's what I mean by forced self-love. Just the universe is putting things in you, making you just look at everything in your life, your past, the things that you haven't let go, that you should have, the people that you should have forgiven, yourself first. So I'm gonna pull some cards here. All right, cards, tell us more about forced self-love. Power. This is a really cool card, and it's the 5th, and today is the 5th. Ooh. So we all have the power within us to love ourselves. As a human living a spiritual life inside a human skin suit of a body, we all have that. It's innate. Like we were born with it. So if you're sitting there thinking, no, I can't do this. I could never do what she's doing. I could never leave my husband. I could never separate. I could never live alone. I could never take all the bills. Yes, you really can. Because if you are doing it and it's for your highest good, which I believed that I had to do this. Like I was so desperate to stop the pain that I was feeling, and that I had to do it. And I knew that either I would be single, divorced, and okay, or we would figure out what needed to be fixed, what needed to be let go, and we would be okay. So I knew either way, I was going to be okay. He was going to be okay. I knew that we were going to be okay. So believe in the power that we are all given. Believe in it. It's hard to at times. When I had to just kind of at the very end, when I thought we were done, I had to tell myself, this is your life, Tanya. You don't have to fantasize about getting back together anymore. Stop fantasizing about getting back together and what that looks like. Stop fantasizing what you don't know he's thinking, and just focus on you and what is real. And so once I started to really do that and go, okay, I'm done infatuating about the fantasy of what this could look like if we don't get divorced. And just like, I couldn't control it. And so it helped me move forward with my life, and the decision that was being made was to just let everything go and just focus on, okay, this is my life. I need to go to work every day. I need to eat. I need to take care of things. I need to take care of my body. And I had to find that power within myself. So like I had to. There was no other way. I had already gotten so depressed over the past 3 years of where our relationship had, for lack of better words, deteriorated, parts of it. And I knew that I did not want to feel that way again. And so I had to pull myself out. What else? I'm going to shuffle, and then I'll talk about the next card. The next card is abundance, number 7. So basically I had to get through each day with a lot of gratitude. Gratitude helped put me into the mindset of, okay, this is my life now. I have this. I have friends. I have the house. I have a job. I have my health. I'm going to work on my health. I have a car. I have a little bit in savings. I have my dog. It was just every day I really, really practiced what I actually have. And that actually kind of switched my mindset going, you know, what am I really getting? What am I really saying goodbye to with this relationship if we do, you know, once we get divorced? You know, what am I saying goodbye to? And it was like a flood, because it had made me realize all the little things that we take advantage of. You know, all the little things. And men are wired different. I learned that too. I learned that the hard way. That men are doers and women are sayers. And so women feel more intimate and connected through, most women feel more connected and intimate through verbal or physical connection. You know, I'm a talker. I'm a sayer. I like to say how I'm feeling, or I like to say something, how I appreciate you if you've done something for me, or if I like something that you've done or that you've said, or that, you know, how you have made me feel. I'm going to tell you that. And so men, I learned that Travis was a doer. He's showing things. And I was so fixated at what I wanted him to say to me, because I wanted that ricochet. I wanted that boomerang, and I wasn't ever getting it the way that my mindset was programmed to think that I had to have this. So it really helped me realize some of the little things all the little things that he was doing that I kind of took for granted after I was on my own. So I had to practice gratitude. I'm going to shuffle the cards. We're going to keep going here. I do want to read out of the Moonology book, because we are in a full moon in Taurus. And then at the end, I'm going to do a closing, and I'm going to pull from Love Who You Are. I thought that was appropriate. Feel free to comment on here. We need interaction. Oh, affirmation. This was another one that got me through it. And the number is 2. This was another one that got me through it. Through the forced self-love is, I kind of had to make up my own affirmations based on what was going on that day. And that seemed to help. And honestly, you can shun me all you want, but AI, chat, GPT, helped me through a lot of my spirals, because I didn't want to involve like a lot of people, because I do overanalyze, and that's just me. I'm a Virgo, and I wanted to just deep dive like everything. And so I would use chat quite a bit, not for basically direction, but for reflection questions. I would ask like, hey, this is how I'm feeling today. Can you ask me a couple questions, a couple journaling prompts that I can think about today, and like before I go to bed, to help me get my mindset, just in a healthy way back to me, because I was so worried about what Travis was doing, what Travis was thinking, if he was talking to people. I mean, it was just, all the stuff, and I had to get out of that attachment mindset and, kind of cut cords with his energy for a while, so that it could ricochet back to me. And honestly, I had to do it. Like, I had to. And so by using some affirmations that I had thought of, and that chat had thought of, the one thing that I used was like, I'm safe, because I was having really bad anxiety attacks. And that was what came forward, was like, I am safe. I am safe. I feel safe. I'm in a safe spot. My job is safe. My house is safe. My body is safe. My property is safe, like everything, like I'm safe. My emotions are safe. I will be okay. I'm financially safe. So affirmations really got me through my force, my self-love. I'm just going to keep pulling. Another good one. There was so much insecurities that came up for me during this situation that I was forced to, and not that I wasn't willing to forgive, but maybe I was sitting on the fence with forgiving myself or my spouse in this situation. And I was desperate. I was desperate to feel good about myself and to get through this without, without drinking, without drugs, without, a different addiction. And I wanted to do it as comfortably and as healthy as possible. And so I kept, forgiveness was a big one. I had to really, really go in and do a lot of forgiving of myself. And then when I finally came to the realization that I was infatuated with a fantasy of what it was supposed to look like and what I wanted it to look like and where that was and where that mindset was coming from, I had to kind of basically forgive myself and the situation and how I came about to where that mindset came from. Was it something that I had learned from my parents? Was it just forgiving the universe for allowing me to choose those other relationships and those other situations that I had been in? So a lot of forgiveness. These are all really good words to use to get through a forced self-love. And self-love is, when I say forced, it just means that there was a lot of things going on for me that always came back to me. You have to do it for you. You have to do it for you. And it basically, kind of healed that codependency version of myself. And now I look at the beginning of Travis and I's new relationship, and I feel very confident that, he can come over and we can connect and we can have, talks. And then when he leaves, I'm okay. Before, it used to give me such anxiety. It would be debilitating, and I wasn't quite sure if it was a good thing or a bad thing. And with deep introspection and really asking myself, what is this? It was just my body. My spirit kept telling me, you're recalibrating. Please do not overthink. You're just recalibrating. Your body is recalibrating. You have been in fight or flight for so many years, even prior to, to me and Travis's situation, that this is the only way that I was able to heal, is to just step away from this marriage for a while and heal a lot of other stuff and then kind of bring it back in. I'm going to pull a card. One more card. Survival. Of course. I had to go through that mindset where I'm just this is today. This is today. What is the one thing that I am going to do today to keep me alive? Because there was times where I wanted to give up. I did. I will admit. There was a couple days where I got pretty low. And thankfully, my therapist does video Zoom therapy sessions. So I was able to do that. I had an awesome friend support system that got me through it, when usually I would probably use Travis as my emotional garbage can. There was Though I had a lot of good friends there that kept me straight and narrow, and I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure they were worried about me some days, but I'm here to tell you that I am fine. I am anxiety free. I'm also like smoke free. I quit smoking 3 weeks ago, and I'm got 2 workouts in this week, and I joined Weight Watchers, and so like these are all things that I didn't think that I would ever do again. I didn't think that I would be fitness motivated again. And I was really worried that I wouldn't quit smoking again, but I did. If you have questions about how I did that, just you can comment on here. So yes, every day I focused on like one good thing that brought me joy. And honestly, it was my friends, and it was just spending time with Lola and doing one thing, in whether it was in the house or it was my crafts. Honestly, I looked forward to coming home every night and just working on my crafts, and I ended up going to some craft fairs and selling the stuff. So it was a win-win. I like that. So the cards were power, abundance. If you want me to send you the script from the book, please comment on here or send me a private message. Affirmations, forgiveness, and survival. I know I talked a lot about my experience, but Spirit was just really calling me tonight to get real and raw, to say the least. I will be back. I'm going to try to get back now that it's winter and a lot of people are not outside doing a lot of sport stuff or outdoorsy stuff. So I feel like this is a great time to bring back the Wednesday Night Lives. And don't worry, next time it won't be so much about my experience, but like I said, Spirit was definitely telling me that I needed to be real and raw and authentic, and that somebody needed to hear my experience so that they didn't feel alone, because I know that's how I felt. I really had days where I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. And thank God for my friends to kind of pull me out of the deeps and go, yes, you can. Like, there's things that you can do all by yourself and you're going to be just fine. And now I appreciate my alone time. I actually look forward to it. I actually like plan days where it's like, okay, if Travis doesn't come over tonight, I'm going to do this, and that, and that's something that I think is really super important with any relationship, is you need to make time for yourself, whether you have a room that you can go to, that you're not disturbed. This is like my sanctuary here in my craft room, and Travis has a movie room. So we both have like our spaces, and that we are going to get back into incorporating our me time. I think that's very important to do, to have your me time. And that when you are together and you do go on dates, put the phones away. That was our one thing. Like, we didn't really have our phones when we would, see each other. If we go on our phones, it's like, okay, we've done this, we've talked about this, or we've had our snuggle time, we've ate. Now, can we just sit together and be on our phones? Sometimes we'll do that. Like, hey, let's just look at stupid videos next to each other and gimp out and show each other stupid TikTok videos. So, I'm going to do the full moon one first. So, there's not a lot of intuition with this one, but if I do get messages, I will share them. But this one I just wanted to share. It's a full moon in Taurus. This is probably the last day that you're going to feel the full moon. But keep in mind, some of the, like, in the past couple of months, I know like September's full moon, or no, October's full moon was brutal, and September's full moon and some of the new moons, I noticed that like September and October, those full moons were just like, they kicked my ass. Now this one, I don't know if it's just because of all the healing and releasing that I've done, that I was just kind of like, okay, like I felt some waves a little bit, you know, a little bit of not anxiety, but just kind of like shifty moods, you know, like, oh God, that just pisses me off. But then it just kind of like went away. But comment on here how you feel during the full moons, because if we know that the full moon is coming, we can kind of prepare for it and kind of be more on guard of if we're going to like be more vocal and really give our opinions, and if we're going to just kind of step back and not let things bother us, because we can get really snappy. I know either a new moon or a full moon, I can get kind of snappy. So I just kind of, if I know, I keep an eye on when the full moon and the new moon, because that way I can kind of just either hunker down, or if I need to be out in public, if that's what I need is to be social, then I will make a point. Okay, I need to do this. Okay, so the full moon in Taurus. Here's the card. Sometimes you need to weave a bit of magic, and sometimes you need to be practical. And sometimes you need to find a combination of the two. This card suggests that this is where you are now. You need to use the laws of attraction to draw in what you want by imagining it, expecting it, and welcoming it. But you need to balance that with taking down-to-earth steps towards your goals. This isn't about wishing on the moon and hoping for the best. It's about making something like a list of bullet points about how to achieve your dreams. If you're asking about money, this card heralds a change of financial fortunes depending on both your past actions and what you're expecting and therefore attracting. Write down 10 things that you know are wonderful about you. This I had to do during my my gratitude. I had to do this to try to get out of my depressive funk about, oh, I'm this and I'm that. No, I had to really dig deep and start feeling good about who I am in this situation. Not before the situation, not after, in the situation. Laziness could explain your current situation. If so, change that and own it. Chasing money doesn't work. You need to chase a dream. Jealousy or envy create negative energy and attract negativity. Remember that. More exercise is called for. I'm on it. The full moon in Taurus is a time to get back to earth, to get grounded, to work through any negative feelings you've been dealing with, and to find a balance between being passionate and being overly intense. It's speaking my language. Money issues may come to a head at the time of the full moon, but you can take this card as a sign to pay more attention to your cash flow no matter when you draw it. I like that. So that was about balancing it out and getting down to the logical nitty-gritty. I like that about Taurus. Okay, one more card, and then I'm going to say thank you all for watching. This will be on YouTube in a couple days. I have a craft event coming up on Friday in Bloomer if you are in the area. It's called Darla Days. And it's Friday from 4 to 8. And there'll be several vendors there selling stuff at the Pines Ballroom in Bloomer, Wisconsin. So I have made, I have keychains. I have cat and dog treat jars. I have salt bath jars. I have, this summer I had been really busy doing dragonflies made out of ceiling fan blades, and I have 8 of them to sell in all different colors. So if you're looking for some cool gifts, you can go to my Etsy page. It's Intuitive Minds Know. Or you can comment on here and I can send you pictures if you're interested in the Oracle card decks. I am branding them more of an inspirational card deck just because a lot of people kind of get squirmish or squeamish when they hear the word Oracle. So I have been branding it as more towards inspirational card deck. And pretty soon I will have a journal. I'm creating a journal right now to match and to kind of go along with the questions that are in the Oracle card deck in the script. And so those will be paired, and I will let you guys know as soon as they are available. I'm going to try to sell them on Amazon. I'm going to print a couple off and try to sell them on Etsy as well, and to anyone that is on here and wants the bundle. I'm doing readings, yes. I'm a little rusty, but I got to get back into it, and I feel like my mental capacity now is to share and to help again. I think a lot of my energy was targeted towards just healing myself and to just get through every day. So I apologize that I left you guys kind of hanging and MIA, but hopefully I can get back into routine of seeing you guys here on Wednesday nights. So I will edit this, or not edit it, but I do a description and a thumbnail on YouTube, and so this will be posted to YouTube because Facebook does delete them on Facebook after 30 days. So keep in mind that if you're looking for videos from mine from the past and you're like, I know she's had them on here before, please go to YouTube. It's Intuitive Minds Already Know, and you will see over 100 videos that I have done on Facebook that I have uploaded to YouTube. All right. So let's pull a card on self-love. Follow your bliss. I like this. I like this. Follow your bliss. And this is so fitting because a bee, like when we come across bees or like a hornet's nest or a beehive, what is your first instinctual feeling? It's like, oh, like run, we're going to get stung. They're going to come after us. And honestly, unless you mess with what they're doing, their plan, their house, their hive, their honeycomb, they're probably not going to bother you. And if you put out that, bees are very intuitive. Bees are they sense energies, frequency. And a lot of insects do. And so if you put out that fear, they're going to sense it before you even do anything. So if you just stay calm, let them do their thing, try to get around it, try to, it's kind of like coming upon an accident. You don't want to make it any worse by staring or getting involved. So you're just going to keep moving. I just think of the scene in Bug's Life where there was I don't know, there was a leaf in the middle of the line or whatever, and they just freaked out. They freaked out because it was norm. It was what they knew, and they only knew to go follow the person in front of them, but all they had to do was basically go around the leaf or stick, whatever it was, and they were just freaking out because of fear, because it was different, it was new, they had no idea what to do, but all they had to do was go around it. So I like this because it's follow your bliss. And if you have to go around something that's chaotic, then go around it. Don't get sucked into it. Just go around it. Find your own detour to get back to your destination. There was another thing that I saw. It was on, I think it was on a tea bag or whatever. Like you get the little comments or whatever on tea bag tags. And it was something about no matter, it's not how you get there, or like, it was like basically, it doesn't matter how you get there, it's the destiny. Like, basically what they were saying is there's many paths to get to your destiny. There's not just one way to get there. And I think that's what this card is trying to tell us, is follow your bliss. Follow your frequency. You know? Find your sweet spot. Be yourself. Be your own bee. I like that. I like that. And the bear represents, bears are kind of solitude. I mean, do you ever see two adult bears together? I've never even heard of it. I've seen a mama bear with her cubs, but I've never seen two adult bears together in the wild. So like, it's kind of saying, hey, you know, don't be scared. Do your own thing. And if you come across chaos, then just merge around it. Don't become part of it. Let's read from the book. I like that. Just as a bear can follow the trail of honey, so can you follow the trail of your bliss. It has a particular scent, specifically made to lure your soul onward. It's not a time to consider the practical reasons and logical explanations. This is a time to hone in on what fills your heart with glee and to move in that direction. Your joy isn't selfish. Happiness is contagious. So when you follow the bliss of places, people, and events that inspire you, you're actually creating more space and permission for others to follow their own bliss too. Okay, so I understand the bee now, because like when you come across like a hornet's nest or a beehive, and then all of a sudden, whatever, if you bump it or whatever, you have more bees come out. So I like that. I like that how they said it's contagious. Happiness is contagious. So when you follow the bliss of places, people, and events that inspire you, you're actually creating more space and permission for others to follow their own bliss. Just by you being you, you create the frequency for other people to be themselves as well. I like that. I'm going to end it there. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to be here next Wednesday. I don't know the topic. I've had quite a few of topics that I have wanted to do, and for whatever reason, I have not felt drawn. I have felt drawn to doing lives, but then there was just a part of me that's like, you're just not ready. You're just not ready. So now I feel like my energy is more balanced and my frequency is like high vibration and the way that I want to be. And so I feel healthier, and I feel more mentally capable of doing these lives for you. So I thank you for watching, and remember, it's every Wednesday. If it is going to be on, if I do the lives on YouTube, I will post it to this group, letting everybody know that we're not live on Facebook, but we're live on YouTube. So if you miss the video, remember that after 30 days, the Facebook videos will be to YouTube. So thank you all. If any of you have any questions regarding tonight's topic and you want to reach out privately, I am more than willing to have a conversation with each and every one of you. So just reach out. I'm here for you. All right. I love you all. Good night.